All right. So today we have John Fisher, the writer and director of Medea the musical. How are you doing today?
I'm great, Denny. Thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes.
So let me begin by asking, how excited are you for Medea the musical to make its New York City premiere?
I'm thrilled. We've done this in San Francisco. We did it in Los Angeles. We've done it in Seattle. I mean, we've done it like every other city. It is so weird we've never done New York. And New York is like the place for it because people get the jokes because
Mhm.
it's a backstage musical. So they get all the theater stuff, because everybody who sees shows in New York is either in the theater or loves the theater. So it's kind of the perfect place for us. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, definitely. Now, this show initially debuted in the 90s. Is that correct?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it goes way back. But strangely enough, I mean, I think the sexual attitudes that are expressed in all the farce on stage are pretty much the same.
Mhm.
So it seems to have held up pretty well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so like when I was doing my research, with it being such a long-running gay hit in San Francisco and LA for years, I'm kind of surprised it has never made its New York premiere just yet, but I'm glad it's finally doing so.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I think that there have been talks about it all the time. And then it's sort of like you begin to think, oh, well, I guess not. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're doing it. And it was just like it was kismet. It was the gods,
Yeah, the
it's all
universe
about the
finally
Greek.
aligned.
It was all the gods. It was the
All
Greek
the
gods
gods.
on our side, finally.
Yes, yes. And how meaningful is it to you that this will be at the Green Room 42?
The Green Room 42 is kind of a perfect space for it because it's like it's got that vibe with the audience. The audience is so much a part of things at Green Room 42. And this really is about the audience and their perceptions and their experience. And it's very much about how an audience perceives theater and perceives themselves. So I sort of love it with all the little tables with the lights on them. It's like the
Mhm.
audience is always present and aware of each other. And it's very much that kind of a show because it's on stage, backstage, off stage, and very much about an audience contributing.
Yeah, 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 for
Yeah.
sure.
And it's a beautiful room and it's got like a baby grand in it. I can't tell you how
Uh,
many like puny pianos this show has been played on. And here's like this grand. I feel like, Leonard Bernstein putting the show
that's
on. Oh, it's like
like it's his New York debut, so it's making a grand
it's
entrance.
perfect. It deserves a baby grand,
Yes,
It
yes.
deserves it. Yeah.
So, for those who have never heard of this production, what can one expect from Medea the musical?
Well, it's about a theater company that's putting on a very campy version of the story of Medea, and of course, Medea is famous for what? She, yeah, she kills her kids.
Yeah, yeah. I was
So it's
running through my like, what is Medea famous for? What is she famous for? No, the answer. Don't put me on the spot like that.
we remind the audience very quickly, so we don't expect anybody. You'll be like, oh yeah, I remember her now. She killed her kids, right?
And not to confuse this with Tyler Perry's Medea.
No, that's right, right. Although that has drag in it,
Okay,
so but I don't think Tyler Perry ever killed any kids.
not that we
Um,
know, but
Not that we know about yet. Um, so they're putting on this very campy version of Medea the musical, and of course, all the men in the show are gay,
mm,
and one of them, in the midst of it, finds himself falling in love with Medea, and
mm,
so suddenly this gay guy who's like super gay is in this relationship with the leading actress playing Medea, and it throws the whole production into turmoil.
mm,
And suddenly everybody is trying to change what the show is about. It's no longer going to be this gay campy musical. It's going to be this very serious musical about feminism and empowerment, and it's going to be about this musical about gay empowerment, and it becomes sort of a battle on opening night in front of the audience with everybody changing everything,
yeah, yeah.
kind of outlandish effect.
Nice, awesome. And what do you
Yeah,
ultimately hope audiences take away from this show?
I hope they have a good time. I always have a message to impart, but
Yeah,
I hope it just sort of sneaks up on them. It's got great songs, it's got dances. The cast is like great. New York actors are the best. It's
they
like you
are.
like they're like, as a director, I'm like, do this, do that. And they're like, oh, I got it. Yeah, I know what you want. I don't have to explain everything. I really hope it's 90 minutes. It's packed with action and really silly props and effects and
Mhm.
outlandish costumes and a really, really great cast of singer, actor, dancers. And I think people are just going to have a good time,
It was a
you
good time.
know?
That's all you want, definitely.
Yeah. And along the way, there's a great story about love and,
Mm.
how all of us, I think, are capable of a lot more than we imagine we're capable of.
Yeah, definitely. So, who is playing Medea? Who are some of the cast members, if you're allowed to say?
Yeah, oh, of course, of course. Cassie Borghese is Medea. It's an incredible singer, like this big belty voice. And
Mhm.
it's funny because sometimes when I've cast great singers, they've been sort of like okay actors.
Yeah.
Cassie is great. Her acting is so good, and she has like it's like an emotional roller coaster for her.
Nice.
Um, the lead playing Jason, the gay guy who finds out he's straight,
Mhm.
he comes out of the straight closet, is a wonderful actor named Stone Mountain. That is his name. He's from
Okay.
Texas, and he was just in a musical about Star Wars.
Okay.
And he's perfect for this role because he starts out like you in the first 5 minutes you're like, this guy is just the gayest thing ever. He is just a big old fruitcake, and he does this great transformation where it's like a straight guy, right?
Mhm.
And then he goes back at the end, but I don't want to give away surprises.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and both of them are just like, the singing is just like, it's like, I mean, we're debating whether or not we have to mic these two because they are so big and it's such thunderous sounds, and they've got such a great sense of genre and singing differently, and different ways of singing, musical comedy singing or R&B, and they've just really, so I think that those two are headed for stardom, and I'm so grateful to have found them.
That's awesome. Fantastic. And can you tell us a little bit more about how this show and idea came to you when you initially wrote it?
I used to put on very, very campy gay musicals.
Okay.
And a friend of mine, a woman said, your female characters always end up getting made fun of. And I was like, okay. And then I thought, so what do you, she said, it's kind of, the women kind of come off bad in your shows. They're like dupes. I said, oh, that's interesting. So I thought, what would happen if a woman decided she wasn't going to take it anymore and she changed the story
Yeah.
on opening night?
Okay.
Suddenly she changed the narrative and she turned it into a female empowerment play. And
Mhm.
that's how it started. And so that's what Medea does.
Nice, nice.
Um, Also, I always think of myself as being just a gay guy, gay guy, gay guy. But it's like, what would happen if my chemistry started clicked with a woman?
Hmm.
Would I resist that because I'm a gay guy and I don't trust it? I don't want to lose all my friends. And so the other character falls in love with a woman, and he finds all of his gay friends like turn on him, like, how can you do that?
Hmm.
You've been brainwashed.
Hmm.
It's like Christian conversion therapy. You're a freak. You're a Mormon. And yet he has to follow his heart. So it's me playing against two assumptions of mine:
Hmm.
what a campy show is, and what sexuality is. And I just flipped everything on its head, and that's what happens on the show.
Awesome, fantastic. And like you said, some of these sexual farce kind of holds up to today. So has Medea the musical evolved at all over time, or has it just pretty much always been the same?
No, it's very much it's always been current. There are references to there are references to the dialogue. Having the dialogue is so bad it was written by a bot, and a transgender bot, and so we always update it and try and keep it current, of
Okay.
course, of course. But I think the reason it works with audiences is at the core of it, there's like a very sincere love between these two characters. And
Yeah.
as ridiculous as everything around them gets, they're really connected to each other, and they're hurt by each other, and they feel great passion for each other. And I think that's why it clicks, because performers playing these roles really, they love to, sink themselves into a love story.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, right.
Definitely. And after this New York premiere, what's next for Medea the musical?
Well, I mean, our hope is that this isn't it. That we lay down roots here and we keep doing the show, and that it grows. I mean, I think that this would do great in a bigger venue,
Yeah.
a more theatrical venue. As much as I love Green Room 42 and would love to stay there forever, I think it could work in a number of different places. So this is really like we're arriving in America
Yeah.
from Ireland or Bulgaria. It's like we've arrived, and we want to stay. And I think with this cast, it could go a long, long way, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah, for sure.
That's our hope, to get people in there, to create enthusiasm. We've always done it this way. We started in a 40-seat theater in San Francisco and ended up at the Stage Door Theater with 500 seats.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's always had sort of this like word of mouth,
Hmm.
snowball effect.
Yeah, definitely. You want to just keep it going. Just keep that word of mouth.
Yeah, and it's like, it's like we want all the hard work to, pay off so we can, keep telling our story. And the show was originally 2.5 hours long. It's now 90 minutes. It's gotten
Mhm.
tighter and tighter. It's about as user-friendly as it's ever been.
Awesome.
And I'm really proud of that.
As you should be. Yes. Well, John, how can one stay up to date with you and the show?
We're at Green Room 42. We're there from January 13th to January 15th. So this coming weekend, just go to Green Room 42
Mhm.
and you can buy tickets for us. We're right in the middle of Manhattan. We're on 10th Avenue at 42nd Street. So we're right in the theater district.
Mhm.
And come see the show. Tickets are as low as $20 or $50. There's no food minimum, but it's, you can get food and drink throughout the show. It's all terrific. Green Room 42 has an incredible kitchen.
Mhm.
And just stay up to date with us through Green Room 42. I also have a website, johnfisher.biz. So it's spelled like my name, JOHNFISHER.biz.
Okay.
But for tickets, go to Green Room 42.
Room 42. Perfect. Well, then before we wrap up, are there any other upcoming projects or anything else you would like to mention or plug at this time?
I've got a show coming up in San Francisco called Billy. I'm bi-coastal, and it's based on a Herman Melville, Billy Budd, and it's so that's coming up in February. But this is really the thing for me right now is launching Medea the musical in New York City, and I'm really excited. I'm in it. I play myself. I play the writer director of this
Mhm.
crazy musical that's falling apart on opening night. So I get it. On opening night, I'm like freaked out
Yeah.
until I actually find out that a critic in the audience is enjoying it, like doesn't know it's like wrong. He's
Mhm.
actually supposed to be this awful way. And then I'm like, oh, just keep going, keep going, keep doing it, keep doing it. And so I get a great pleasure in being on stage, although I'm very much a supporting character in this. So this is my thing right now.
Okay. Okay. Fantastic.